welcome to A Bridge Podcast, hosted by Nard and produced by Alphonse and King Roach. On this show, we will discuss all topics that range from sports, entertainment, and the lifestyles that shape our lives. None of this would be possible without the support of our family and loved ones. Follow us on abridgepodcast.com. Yo, welcome back. Season 2, Episode 5 of A Bridge Podcast, hosted by Nard. And I got the big 2, which make the big 3. What up, big Pat? 3, King Roach. What it do?
Up. We the only big 3 in Brooklyn, man. You know, we got the Nets.
Oh, they got Harden now. Wow.
Kyrie, so we the next big 3 in Brooklyn, man.
You already know. That's what it is, man.
Good to be back, though. Good to be
back.
Nah,
definitely, man. Glad to be with you dudes, man. You know, man. Glad it's a new regime, man. Go blue. You heard?
Go blue.
The Dems run this bitch. There you go. That's what's up, though, man. Like, serious, man. I ain't even going to hold y'all, man. Tonight, man, Pat, you did it again, man. Like that, if I ever get my hand on that phone, I don't even know. Y'all might not even see me for a little while if I get Pat phone. My guy is plugged in, man. Tonight, man, we bring to you people tuning into A Bridge Podcast. We bring to you, man, like a serious phenomenon, man, who looks like us, man. I'm talking about an actor, a director, an author. I mean, he's doing all the things that we all wanted to do, man. It's like him and Master P got the most jobs, man. For real, man.
You can't forget producer also.
Yeah, man, for real. That's dope, man. So without further ado, man, we bring to you Attika, Torrence.
Peace.
My guy. Thanks for coming, my guy.
Great for having me. That beat was hard, too.
Yeah.
The intro track.
Yeah, we know a couple of people, you know.
Yes,
you reaching out. We got the best IT dude in the business, King Roach, you know what I mean? And again, Pat with that Rolodex, man.
Yes, sir.
But also, Happy New Year to you, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks
Same
for being,
to you, brother.
Thanks for being a part of what we got going on here. So I like everybody to please lock in. Go to www.abridgepodcast.com. You know what I mean? Subscribe. Become a patron. Support the movement so we can keep bringing you this quality content. My guy, Pat, what up, man? What you think about the Nets, man?
You said the Knicks or the Nets?
The Nets. Son, you know I don't watch the Knicks.
Yeah,
I don't even watch the Knicks highlights because Julius Randle should not be wearing Bernard King number.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, like I'm really against that.
No, I'm happy, man. Just the fact that we can't, fans could go in the game. It'd be
Yeah,
crazy
man.
if we could really go in the game. But, James Harden can't even go to strip clubs, man.
I love it, yo.
It's
I love it.
It's going to be hard on that brother, man.
Yo, I love it and I hate it because I live on the corner. So when it's a Nets game, nigga, I'm parking 2 neighborhoods away. I ain't getting no love when it's a Nets game.
Happy for that.
Nah, that's what's up, though. Nah, seriously, man. Shout out to Harden, man. You know, he got his likes. He got his likes and dislikes, so that's what's up. But Attika, man, you here, man.
Yes,
Tell us
sir.
about you, man. Like, where you from? Like feed the people, man.
Man, I'm BK all day, man. So
yeah,
I'm excited about this Nets thing going on, man. I've never been a fan of D'Antoni's offense.
Right.
I think something can happen.
Yeah, good thing he's the assistant. Good thing he's the assistant coach. I like Steve Nash.
Yeah, but Steve Nash came up under him.
Right,
You know
absolutely.
What I'm saying? So,
indeed.
But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the new year. I'm excited that we here.
No, definitely blessed, man.
Yeah, man.
For real, man. We definitely blessed.
What's poppin'.
That's what's up. So you're originally from Brooklyn? You said what part of Brooklyn?
Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy, do or die, man.
Bed-Stuy.
Home of the brave.
Yes,
you heard? Nah, that's what's up. Growing up in Bed-Stuy was different, man. The 80s was different. It's not like now, man. It's so different. It's like there's no lines in the street anymore. People all over the place, man.
Yeah, man.
For real, nobody know they lane.
Yeah. And it's funny, man, because growing up in Bed-Stuy, I saw that happening a long time ago, man. Like there was a time when you needed to be vouched for.
Right.
Mentored.
Yeah.
I don't care what you was doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you was playing ball, you couldn't just walk in any park and play.
Yeah,
Somebody
absolutely.
had to bring
and you also had to be thorough with it. You just couldn't show up.
No one was vouching for you if you wasn't thorough.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Now that means a lot. But now it's crazy because you say vouching and people like giving you a stamp of approval.
Yeah.
But now it's all about dudes just doing what they want, man. It's like everybody's the big homie.
Yeah.
Yo, I seen like 8 dudes the other day, man, and this dude walked to and he said he was the big homie. Dude was like 23. I was like, what?
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, even like I was talking to my friend about this in hip hop, man. You know, there was a time when people had to vouch for you, had to bring you in.
Right.
And now, since you can record in your bathroom and you got Pro Tools.
Because they got that light thing, like for TikTok. That light thing, now everybody's a star.
Oh, right.
They got that light thing.
The ring light.
The ring light, yo.
Yeah.
Everybody's a star then,
Yeah,
for
but
real,
that's what
man.
it is, man.
You know, so like in Bed-Stuy, like growing up, like and understand the concept, like you said, we had mentors and stuff like that. Like, what was your childhood like? I know you played Cocolivio. I know you played Cocolivio.
Yo, it's funny, man. I had a great childhood, man.
That's
Growing
dope.
up in Bed-Stuy, like in the 70s and early 80s, like it was a beautiful place to be, man.
Nah,
It
without
was,
question.
You know, my parents were very active in the black, I'm sorry, Pan-Africanist movement in Brooklyn. So one of the things we were, you know, my parents' organization was the founder of was the International African Arts Festival.
Nice. That's the
Back then it was called the African Street Festival.
that was that Boys and Girls, right?
That Boys and
right,
Girls. It
right.
started on Claver Place.
Okay.
10 Claver Place, and then
It grew
moved
to
a bigger spot. in
Claver
Boys and
Place
Girls
only
High.
2 blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got too big for that.
Between Putnam and Fulton.
Yeah. It got too big for that.
Yeah, and then you know it's interesting because they were so active. You know they ran the Armory on at the time it was
Sumner Avenue. That's where I grew up at, Sumner Avenue.
Yeah.
For the new kids, it's Marcus Garvey Boulevard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I call it Marcus Garvey for several reasons. One, because I don't know who the hell
Sumner is.
Two, because my father's man, who's like an uncle to me, his name was Sonny Carson.
Education Sonny Carson.
Yeah,
Great,
he started
a great guy.
Committee to honor Black heroes, which is why we got streets in Bed-Stuy named after certain people.
Ah, that's dope. You
So
hear
I
that,
honor,
people?
Marcus Garvey's legacy, as well as Abubadika Sonny Carson's legacy for pushing that agenda forward.
Salute. He had a dope movie. I was a kid. I watched it. The Education of Sonny Carson, man. It was really like real education about the hood and how gangs was really holding people down.
That
and
movie
it was
is relevant today.
Yeah, that joint is
That movie is relevant today.
like all that stuff from back then, like was so relevant. Like Education of Sonny Carson, the books like Spook Who Sat by the Door, Man Child in the Promised Land. Like I think all kids who look like us should have to read those type of books. But you know now, I mean I don't care if they got to put it on the Nook or do whatever they got to do, man. It got to be it needs to be read.
Get that information.
Nah, that's dope though. So with the Pan African movement and then
The Carnival, the Street Festival.
the street festival and stuff, moving to the high and it being rich, so you like there was a lot of culture in that.
Oh yeah.
So you were like around the culture playing the drums or something.
Long before there was a De La Soul or
PM Dawn and all that.
Long before the Kente cloth was popping. Long before Knaps.
Oh.
We was out here marching down the streets. You know, we were steeped in it. So what it started from was basically they had a school called Uhuru Sasa, and that means freedom now.
Okay.
So Uhuru Sasa Shule, it means freedom now school. It was housed at the Armory.
Okay.
You know, 357 Marcus Garvey. So at the end of the year, we would have a homecoming type of thing, like the parents, like what do high schools call it? Like a parents teachers. At the end of the year, we was having our school performance.
Okay.
So basically, we all used to drum.
Right.
We used to do African dance. Our parents sewed African garments.
Okay.
And we all did martial arts.
Now, that's dope, man.
We all, you know, so it was really just us tapping into our Afrocentricity, and it was the end of the year performance, and that's what actually grew
into the
carnival.
All right, that's dope. So like in learning that, like you saying, doing martial arts and doing shows and stuff like at the end of the year and everything, like you were really like being really like educated on your culture and stuff like that, which is so lost right now because so many people don't know who they are, but I always say that it's very important to know who you are, but it's more important to know who you are not.
Oh man, listen, man, it's real important to know who you are. It's really important to know where you came from, and this, because it's a mathematic equation. Hindsight plus insight equals foresight.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Your past plus your present can detect your
the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to know where you came from, where you are, in order to know where you're going. And that ain't no brilliant genius shit. That's just real stuff.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm saying? And,
Natural physics. Like,
and one of the things that we don't deal with, and I know you're a basketball dude, so everybody it's real important to let people know what they can't do.
Right.
Everybody think they're a stretch four.
Oh my God.
Everybody think they're.
What is a stretch four? I was telling dudes like, dude, I played with five. I played on the team. Seriously, shout out to Kenny King. Shout out to Pat Alphonse, aka the Bucket. You know what I mean? Shout out to my backcourt mate, Booby, man. That's my guy. Yo, Boo, man. The Kings is coming soon. We need you, man. But like what you saying is crazy because Pat and all them guys could put the ball on the floor. Mm-hmm. Like everybody could do everything. Mm-hmm. And now everybody's one dimensional.
Well, y'all were different.
Yeah.
Y'all was different. I didn't play against y'all, but I watched.
Right. Appreciate you.
This was how Kenny used to call plays. Charles.
Yeah. Such a great coach. That's my man.
Boom.
Yeah.
That was the play.
Yeah, that was it.
You knew you was getting your ass buzzed by Charles in that moment.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. That's word. He's like, no, you stupid ass, throw the ball to Pat. He open. Damn, dude. He shot last time. Like, it's my turn. Like,
Word. I swear, I remember watching Kenny King's play. And
that was dope, though.
Well, not running down. When y'all was running down the court, he'll call a name, and that was the person that was going to rock.
And you should see the fear in the defender's eyes. Like, damn, all these people out here going to see this happen.
Yo, you know what? On another level, man, like, I think there are two people that I think don't get the credit that they deserve. And I know we talk about.
Speak about it, bro. Speak about it.
There are two people that I think their brilliance, and see, brilliance in black people is so overlooked.
Right.
I
agree.
It's like a mistake. It happened by mistake.
Like he wasn't supposed to be awesome.
Like even hip hop, they say these beats are like the reason why this song is popular. It's just a mistake. They ain't on the level of a Pavarotti or
right.
But somebody studied the fact that Coltrane used this beat from Monk,
and then they looped it,
and RZA.
Right, looped it.
Looped that.
Right. Like, that's ill.
There's science behind it. So when I think about greatness in sports, there are two people whose names are not mentioned enough. Well, there's a lot of them.
Right. But two that stand out to you.
And Kenny Kings.
Right. I could dig it.
Those two.
Yeah.
Yo, man. If they
it's also too, man. It's like so many people have their personal favorites, so they don't like the way Tiny did things. Shout out to Dwayne Morton, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to him, man. You can't. You definitely can't knock it.
You can't knock the results.
Right. Same thing with Kenny King. Like I tell people, like he had it easy because he had such players, but we were a family. And for him to keep us all together and keep everybody happy, shout out to the liquor store. You heard? He kept us happy, baby. You already know. Had my first blazer going to Sugar Hill. Drink was mad big. I was like, Miss Sandra, let me holler at you for a minute.
and part of the brilliance is it's not easy to keep that family.
It's not.
Especially when all of y'all are gifted and talented and got ego and pride and. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy to keep that. So that's the underlying stuff that people take for granted.
Yeah, we really sacrificed. We all really sacrificed a lot because we could have played anywhere and everywhere, but we wanted to play with our friends, man. So like that was like
30 years later, we still here.
Yeah, 30 years later, you see with me and Pat. A-Bridge Podcast. That's right on Patreon.
That was some real Brooklyn shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's dope though. I respect that, man. So you attended the school. Because I don't want to say the name wrong.
Yeah,
the coach school as a youth.
It's called Uhuru Sasa Shule. It's a Swahili name. Uhuru Sasa Shule. It means Freedom Now School. So I attended there until I was 10 years old. And when I turned 10, my parents moved to Liberia, West Africa.
Okay, wow.
When they moved to Liberia, I went to school there. finished up elementary. and went to high
Salute,
school there.
Liberia.
Yeah,
It's
thank
dope. I remember when a friend of mine went to Africa, and it was crazy because he said that at the airport, the guy, an African, said to him, "When you land, don't just go see the monkeys." Word, like to let them know, like the island is beautiful. Like don't be consumed by what the stuff they try to feed you here.
So
You know?
it's funny because we know Africa is a continent.
Right, indeed.
And it has-
Well, not all of us know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I asked the
Africa
kid
is
to
a
tell me the
continent.
50 states. I said, give them to me in alphabetical order. He said, Africa? I said, you need a home attendant, Lord. I said, this little nigga crazy.
There's 52 countries in Africa. The funny thing is, all of what, and I consider myself pretty knowledgeable, pretty conscious. 'Cause
absolutely.
I was raised in a very conscious environment, but it was shocking to me when I got there.
Wow. And at 10, it had to be.
Brother, like I for a minute, I didn't believe I was there. Like it was beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and it's especially people whose roots are of the diaspora. Latinos, blacks, wherever you from. Black,
the Moors, man. Shout out to the Moors.
I think you need to go visit, some place in Africa. Now, when you get there, it's like everywhere else you go. You have to get off of the tourist resort.
Right.
Like when I go somewhere, if I go to the Dominican Republic, I want to meet up with my man who's from the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I go to Jamaica, I want to meet up with my man who's Jamaican.
Can I walk like this?
It's almost like if people come to Brooklyn and all they do is stay at the Marriott, go to Junior's, go to the Marriott.
They missing the culture. Nah, you right. You right.
So wherever you go,
you got to get with the natives.
It's really cool, especially if you know someone, to get with someone and go.
That could show you some
stuff. You got to know them. Right. Some of the places you can get missing.
Oh, yeah. I remember we was in Cancun. They booked my man. He went to get some weed. We was like, boy, chill out. He said, nah, I'm good. He went and got some weed. The police booked him. They took his money, his watch, his chain, and let him keep the weed. I said, well, it's better than going to Cancun jail.
But yeah, I went to high school overseas in Africa, and that's in Liberia. And
that's dope.
That's where I was raised from the time I was 10 to 16.
So like in high school in Africa, is it the same thing like 12th grade, or is levels, or how?
So it's interesting you asked that, because the grades, yes, they're the same. That you go from first grade to 12th, but the testing is different.
Okay.
The testing, we're on a British system, not an American system.
Right.
So what's equivalent to the SAT here is called the GCE A-level examination over there.
Okay.
And when I
was it culturally biased like the SAT?
Well, it's all culturally biased.
Okay, cool.
But we don't focus on history and literature.
Right.
We focus on math, physics, chemistry, biology. Those.
Right.
Those
Understanding atoms and British units.
I was in a science class. So my school split. I had 7th grade to 12th grade had 3 different sections: 7A, 7B, 7C.
Gotcha.
I was in 7C. 7C was science.
Okay.
So I didn't take like literature and all sorts of the art stuff.
Right.
I took science courses. So when I went to take my GCE A-level exam in 12th grade before I could graduate, first of all, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, like a 5-day test.
Wow.
So it's like a.
I hear that 5 days.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour a day test. So you got 2 hours or 3 hours. You take the theory.
Okay.
Then you break for lunch and you come back and take the practical.
Wow.
So you will go into, after you do science, you go into the lab and prove it.
Okay, dope.
You know what I'm saying? And when you did your math, you turned in you didn't like the SAT, you just shade.
No, you had to show your work.
You show your work.
Yeah.
So they give you a work.
I hated long division. I love math, but I hated long division.
Yeah.
Hated showing the work, because I knew the answer. I wanted to just get right to it.
Yeah, so
that's
what
dope.
it was. So it was similar, but the only difference really was the testing was along the lines of British testing.
Okay, and it's funny you said British thing because I used to always argue with people. Like everybody going to Home Depot and they want an air conditioner. They want 15,000 BTUs and 10,000 BTUs, and nobody know what BTUs stand for. You know what I mean? So I'd be like, yo, dude, you don't even know what you're asking for. And when I found out what it stood for, I was like, wow, that's crazy, man. It stands for British Thermal Units for anybody that's listening, man. Shout out to them. Yeah, that is definitely dope. King Roach said, I was about to say, what does it stand for? 'Cause I got 20,000 at the crib. Make sure it's healthy for the kid, you know what I mean? That's dope. So then after high school, you go into secondary school, or did you head back to the States?
Came back to the States to go to college.
Dope.
Came back to the States to go to college.
And how was your paperwork received coming from like over there to school here?
Well, first of all, I was American, so you know, the citizen paperwork was cool. I had my social security card, everything. My issue was the stuff that was on the SAT. I learned it in 9th grade.
So it's like
I learned it in 9th grade. Like by the time I was in 12th grade, I had forgotten most.
Right.
I passed the SAT very well, but it was received well.
Okay.
But I passed it by chance because I literally remember falling asleep, taking the SAT, and waking up and just shading stuff. Like I had because the lady was like, "Yo, it's time to go."
Yeah, you
I just started
finish.
feeling because my thing was I'm gonna answer everything I know. And then what I don't know, I'll figure it out. I fell asleep because I was probably partying.
Oh, yeah. But most of us, taking SAT, we was at the club the night before. Yeah,
that was a big difference. What I learned in high school, when I saw the SAT, I realized that was stuff that I had taken by like 9th, 10th grade.
Right.
So thinking about the levels that we were on from schooling, you know, it was completely different. And that's when I realized that American schooling is somewhat behind.
Yeah, I always say too, like in American school, it's like they it teaches you to retain. They give you something, you retain it, you take a test, you don't see it anymore.
Well, American school trains, it doesn't teach you, it trains you.
It trains you, okay.
Right? It trains you to be a part of a parasitic system. The system that requires you to be employed.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's some other places where they train you to be an entrepreneur. Like that's what.
Like in most of the Caribbean countries, they train you to be self-employed a lot because they like as contractors and engineers and mechanics and stuff like that.
Even
Carpenters.
Trade school. When you learn plumbing, when you learn carpentry, when you learn those things, it's really training you to get money.
Right, but TJ, you know what they say, right? You give a man a fish to eat for a day. Sir. You teach a man a fish to eat for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. You heard? Get to it, man.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, all right, now you in school, so you did you have likes or did you develop a love for something?
Well, it's funny because the things when I was in school, my first 3 loves coming from Brooklyn was in this. Well, it wasn't really in any particular order. It was karate, football, and hip hop. So when I moved overseas, they didn't play football; they played soccer.
Right.
Hip hop was, you know, we listened to it, but it wasn't like the hip hop energy wasn't the same over.
Okay.
You know, we got tapes every once in a while, but the energy wasn't the same. Like we used to go to block parties here or go to the jam in the park.
No doubt.
Your uncle was DJing.
Yeah.
It was
shout out to DJ Lance. Rest in peace to one of the greats, man.
Yes,
shout out to Lance,
Master
man.
D.
Son, got Master D, originally Master D. Roosevelt Project, stand up.
But yeah, like I remember when he used to DJ parties in the Armory.
In the Armory and sell them out, pack it out.
Absolutely. I remember Dougie Fresh came to the Armory.
Yeah.
The thing is, because my pops was responsible for that, we used to clean up, and I used to find all the knives and stuff under the stage. but
Brooklyn.
So hip hop wasn't the same overseas. And then martial arts, I don't know anybody that took karate while we was over there. The sensibilities for those things weren't the same. So I lost all of the things that I was really connected to here as my first passions. So when I returned, I felt like, it's funny because as a 16-year-old, when I graduated from high school and came back, I felt like my passions had passed me.
Okay.
Had I been wiser, I would have went after them then at 16,
pursued them.
Because I probably thought I was, you know, other people had a head start on me.
Right.
So when I went to college, like there's a lot, there's a lot going on. But when I finally found my passion in filmmaking, again, I grew up on stage before.
Okay.
So when I finally found my passion,
Excuse me.
As an actor, that's a story unto itself, which led to me going to school to learn filmmaking holistically.
Okay, dope. So, in filmmaking, like, are you strictly behind the scenes, or like you were performing? Like, did you then start acting in front of? Like, did you do films involving
Well,
yourself?
my love from filmmaking came from my love for acting.
Okay.
I was acting. I was acting first.
Okay.
And then I decided to go back to school to learn filmmaking. To learn acting. And as I went to school, and I went to Long Island University.
Nice.
For several reasons, but one, Spike Lee used to screen all of his films down there, what they call dailies. So after he go on set and shoot all his movies, shoot for that day, he would take his dailies to the screening room down in LIU. Actually, they have a screening room called the Spike Lee screening room now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I knew Spike was down there and some other people when I went to interview down there, it was the right place. But I went there because I wanted to learn acting. They had drama in their syllabus. And,
nice.
and the drama school wasn't the best.
Right.
But what I really learned from it was filmmaking. And I realized that if I wanted to be an actor, I didn't think anybody would hire me because I never acted before.
Acted before. Okay.
So I said, I need to figure out how to get myself some notoriety. So
Okay.
I said, maybe I
Like
should
build
make
your
a
catalog.
movie. Yeah.
Right.
So I said, maybe I'll learn how to direct.
Okay.
And then I said, well, if I start, and then I'll cast myself in a movie.
Now that's ill.
And then I said, as a director, ain't nobody gonna hire me because I never directed.
Never directed before.
So then I said, I need to write something so I could direct.
Okay.
So that's when I learned the whole science
Dynamics.
of filmmaking.
Okay.
And when I graduated from college, I made my first film called Brotherly Love with 13 of New York's top underground comedians right before they all blew up.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
And I acted in it. I played the co-lead. My man, this comedian Talent Harris, dope. Shout out
to Talent, man. It's just comedy.
Yeah, that's
all right,
man.
that's
so
what's
he
up.
played my brother in the movie.
Okay. What was it like? About the industry that just captured you.
I'm not attracted to the industry.
Okay.
I'm not attracted to the industry. I never was, and that probably has a lot to do with why, I haven't acquired a certain level of accomplishments to this point, because the industry and the industry people don't matter to me.
Right.
I understand the importance of filmmaking. I understand the importance of media. I understand the importance of what y'all doing.
Right. Appreciate it.
Media was created for mind control.
Okay.
That's why it was created.
Right. That sit you in front of the TV and like keep you engaged.
Yeah. And he who controls the images controls the minds.
Right.
And media was born out of propaganda. So understanding that, and then I also. I'm really, really adamant about the stories that are being told about us.
Right.
About anybody.
But that's actually dope, because and salute to you, for that, for having that understanding too, because there's so many people like yourself and people who look like us that have a real story, have something great to say. And it's not really a platform for it. I remember I watched a show one year on PBS. I never forget. It used to come on every year. And then it just stopped coming on. And it was called What If Malcolm Met Martin? And it was about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King having a conversation in a hotel room. And 2 FBI agents was listening. And Malcolm and Brother Malcolm and Dr. King were so awesome that the white FBI agent brought in, he was like, yo, this really makes sense. And the coon was really against it. And then they started dictating, but it was dope. It used to come on every end, but it was about us. It was about the great minds. And then like reading books about like George Jackson, Che Guevara, like, you know, guys of color, you know, who are amazing, Silas Shakur, you know what I mean? Like great people, man. So like you recognizing that and identifying with that and wanting to make stuff for people who look like you, that's awesome, man. That's for real, man.
Yeah, and a lot of other great people. It's not just in the. I mean, like I think, you know, like the folks you named are amazing trailblazers.
Right, right.
A lot of them are in the Black Power, the Black Revolutionary movement. But I believe that revolutionaries fight the way they know how.
Okay.
So I think, you know, Ray Charles was revolutionary.
Oh no, he was
you
awesome.
know, James Brown was revolutionary.
Right.
You
Indeed.
know,
the trendsetters, people who really change the narrative.
But not only that, my thing is you fight the way you know how.
Right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was revolutionary.
Yes,
Muhammad Ali was revolutionary.
Yes,
You know
indeed.
what I'm saying? And even now, people like some of
Allen Iverson.
some of our teachers,
Right.
some of our barbers, who we know we can't go up in their shop talking stupid.
Right,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? That old man on the corner that always say, "Yo, young man,
Put your pants up."
Absolutely.
Right,
So,
right.
Like we,
The street prophet.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
and
and it's
important to
missed.
tell
It's
all
missed.
of those stories.
It's missed. Nah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like for real, because it's like, you know, like as I was doing my homework on you, right? And I'm like, wow, like the brother did a lot. Like he was like, he had an Emmy nomination. Like I don't know nobody that had an Emmy nomination. You know what I'm saying? Like how do we get there?
Well, actually, my project was nominated for 2 Emmys,
Oh, that's dope.
and we won the Television Academy Honors Award.
Nice.
And that was Rest in Power to Trayvon Martin's story.
Salute to
And,
Trayvon Martin and his family.
Yes, sir.
For
Dope
real.
people.
Nah, that's dope.
We won. I mean, we was nominated for 2 Emmys on that project. I still believe we should have won, but
Yeah,
that
y'all
has
should have
nothing
won,
to do
man.
with me.
Y'all should have won. Yeah, they should have won.
We did our job.
Who do I
you
need
know?
to speak to? Who do I need to write? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, now y'all should have won.
We
Nah, but
did-
that's dope
we did
because
our
like
job.
you, like the Trayvon Martin story, like that story, man. Like, and it's, and not to go off topic and not to to drag about, because I think I talk about it every episode. But I lost my son to senseless gun violence. So like I'm a survivor of gun violence, and for you to be putting that together and these people and these parents having to relive that, like I know that had to be like serious. And then also too, I'm thinking as a director and everything, it's not about making the other dude relevant.
Well, that's a dope point that you brought up, because on this project I was a producer. They had 2 directors, and the directors is a white couple
Okay.
that was definitely doing their best, but and they did a great job. But you know, I believe that my position on that project was also highlighting things that were overlooked by people who don't understand.
And us.
You know, right?
Okay.
By people who don't understand. Like I listened to every single interview. There were times when someone would say something, and I'd send a text in the room and say, "Yo, you just missed. You gotta drill them on that."
Right.
You know? And there was a lot of stuff. And one of the things I remember, there was a guy, Jeff Triplett, I think was the mayor. I think his name is of
The county in Florida.
Sanford, Florida.
Sanford, Florida. Okay.
And he had his talking points down. He was a politician and he's a businessman, so he
Right.
had his talking points down. And they were interviewing him, and I'll never forget, he said something along the lines of, you know, when he became the mayor of Sanford, he wanted to really, really become an ally with the black community. And he went and he told them, he gave this impassioned speech about, you know, I know I can never walk in your shoes, but allow me to walk beside you.
Right.
So I sent the text, I said, ask him what's the difference between racism and prejudice. So the director asked him, what's the difference between racism and prejudice? And he was like,
Stuck.
never really thought about that.
Right.
So it's like these are moments where you have, like, there's a lot involved. Like prejudice, I can be prejudiced against anybody. I cannot like you because you're tall.
Right.
I cannot like you because you're short. But that doesn't mean I have the power to implement systems to hold you down.
Right.
That we've never been in a situation where, like, we was in Sanford, and the entire time the city was formed, there had been white police chiefs for a predominantly black town. Community. We've never seen that in reverse.
Right.
You know, we've never seen that. Bed-Stuy for many years.
It's like a lot of the TV shows. It's the black woman in awe of the white man. It's not. It's very seldom. I mean, I can't remember last time I saw it reversed in that sense, where the white woman was crazy about the black man. And it's funny when you say that in reference to like the difference between racism and prejudice, because in the movie Deep Cover, remember he asked him, he said, like, what's the difference between a black man and a nigger? Yeah. And he was like, only a nigger would answer that. Right. And that's like, it's so crazy, man. So like, and it's also like, and you doing that, you're in the moment, you're around these people, you around this commissioner and stuff like that. And in the midst of all this, the culprit is acquitted. That's it was such a slap, man. Such a slap in so many ways, man. But for you working on that, like how was it in dealing with the family in such intimate detail?
Well, dealing with the family was really cool because one of the things I realized that all of the lies that were being told about Trayvon Martin, I got to see, even though I didn't believe them, but I got to see them. I got to see who his family was.
Right, got to see the truth.
His mother was an HBCU grad.
Salute.
They weren't anti-cop. His family were service people. They worked for the state.
Okay.
His father was like, one of them dudes in the hood that ran the sports. He was like the commissioner of football.
Right, like a good dad. Football was big down there.
He was the commissioner of the park, of the football league.
Right.
In my neighborhood, there was a dude named Diggs in Brevard.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Diggs.
Right, so he was
shout out to his sons, Trevor and Trey, too.
Right, so he was like that. He was like that guy in football.
Right, Sonny Lewis. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
guys like that. Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Shout out to the greats, Timmy Vincent, Zeke Clement.
His pops was one of those dudes. He was from a great family. So when people said he was like a thug, it's like I'm looking at him. Every summer he went to an aeronautics camp.
Wow.
At Florida Memorial University.
Shout out to FMU, man. I got a kid playing it right now. Samuel Mack played with his dad.
Nice.
Shout out to him. He just had a great night the other night.
Yeah,
willed his team to a win.
That's where his mother Sabrina graduated from.
And my boy Chuck went there. Kenny King alum.
Okay.
Florida Memorial University. Shout out to Milk, man.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
FMU. He went there, and actually, interesting history about that school. Florida, in their racist, the way they handle things, FMU had to move from north to further south Florida because the KKK didn't want them there, so the whole school had to move.
That's crazy.
And that's real stuff.
They moved the whole university.
They moved the university. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot that wasn't spoken about. So being around his family,
wow.
I saw them pretty much as like, they were I can relate to them on the level they were my cousins.
Right, absolutely.
Like you get around them and you're like, yo, these are my peoples.
Nah, dope.
And it's like it was really, really humbling because no matter how tough it got for me, I had to check myself and say, but
imagine them. Right? If they're still pushing forward, you have to push forward.
You got to fight.
And you looking the way you look and being the man you are, it had to be definitely helpful to them and for them because the white producers couldn't truly identify with all that was going on.
They couldn't. Right. I mean, they're good at their job, but their levels to working with people. We spoke about earlier that all of y'all could play ball, but Kenny has something special because he could keep y'all together like family. Like everybody don't have that special thing. You know what I'm saying? So they're great at their jobs. Like I think they're amazing people too.
Right.
But there was a disconnect, and just being there and being able to navigate some of what we experienced was better. And they actually I mean, there were times when we had a black crew and a white crew.
Wow.
When we were going to interview them rednecks about the Trayvon Martin thing, the black people couldn't go. And I understand that. I understand that.
Nah, it's serious. It's
because
serious
they
down there.
want to be in the room and have people comfortable enough to speak their speech, like the
Right.
dude said, speak your speech.
Yeah, there
you
you
know.
go.
So they wanted the dude to be able to speak comfortably.
Right.
And I understand that.
And
like
they
if
wouldn't-
I was doing that, they wouldn't have done
Right,
it.
right, exactly.
So, and they recognize that in me, and I also recognize in them that certain elements of the culture and what we were talking about were missing as well.
Yeah, allowed you to get dope footage though.
Oh yeah,
Definitely,
Oh, yeah.
definitely, for real.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you really tackle some difficult subjects in your film production company career, and most of them have been based on real life situations. Tell us about your upcoming document about the COVID-19 pandemic, and what made you want to do a film on the subject.
Well, the COVID-19, I did a mini doc on the COVID-19 where I was a producer on it, and I was the voice of the narration. I was the voice of New York City, and what that was, I have my man Alex is a cinematographer, and we always recognize these moments that are unique. You know, like when there was a blackout, there was a unique moment. So we thinking, get the camera, go shoot something, right?
Right.
You know, my man lived in Tribeca when 9/11 happened. You know what I'm saying? He ran to his roof, got his camera, and started shooting. Because that's the world we live in, right?
That's
so
dope.
when COVID happened, we was, my man was like, yo, Ad, I want to shoot something. So I was like, yo, let's do it. Then he said, you know what? I'm going to come up with something and I'm going to shoot it to you. He came up with something. He shot it to me. We produced it. I did the voice. I was traveling at the time, so I had to find a studio out of town and lay the voice down because we was on a tight schedule. And we did it, and it's called Vacant, Not Vanquished. And it's talking
Vacant, not vanquished.
Yeah, it's talking about the streets of New York City. Like they're vacant, and they're vacant right now, but we're not defeated. You know
Right, there's still life. There's still life in them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
We're
that's
not
dope.
defeated, and we'll not let this thing defeat us.
That's dope.
You know.
And who did you work on with that project?
That project, it was my man Alex Hancock. It was myself, and it was a bunch of people from the community, man.
Okay, that's
it was
dope.
a bunch of we got regular people, regular New Yorkers.
Nah, tell a real story.
Yeah, from the community.
You also did something with Malik Yoba, correct?
Oh yeah, that's my man. That's
Malik
my
Yoba.
dude.
We was talking about him. We saw him on, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the last episode. Well, not him, because I think he was behind, or he had some affiliation with Soul Cafe.
Oh yeah.
The restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Remember they tried to pay me in chicken wings, man. I did a comedy joint there. I was like, man, I'm gonna need that cash, man. Nah, but shout out to him. Yo, I loved him on New York Undercover, but I hated that the Spanish kid made all the rest. If you ever watch New York Undercover, the Spanish kid made all the rest, man.
I'm
like, yo, man.
I never peeped it.
Whoa, now you want to say, I'm like, yo.
I love that. I love New York Undercover because also I remember the first episode of the pilot episode that launched. My man Easy Mo B had did the track for it, the
Dope.
music, and
They used to have ill soundtracks.
Yeah, we were going. Well, Mtume, I think was it Mtume? I think it was Mtume that did the soundtrack.
Okay.
But Easy Mo B's song opened New York
Opening scene.
Undercover, and
Dope.
the song was. And it's funny because we went running home. We went running. Actually, we watched it at Pool's crib.
Okay.
At Pool, Glenn.
Glenn
We
Hardy?
watched it at we watched it at
Okay.
his
Shout out to the
crib.
boy Glenn Hardy.
And the reason we watched it is because he was cool with Mo B.
Right.
And the first song that opened it was, I think it was Flavor in Your Ear.
Okay, nah, that's
And
fire.
that's when I watched it. Then I was like, yo, these people kind of cool. I didn't know who Malik was.
Right.
I'm like, yo, they dressed like us.
Nah, that's
They
dope.
look like us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start watching it. And then it was dope.
Shout out to them people too, because they were smart. Whoever was in that slot on 5 at that time, that 8 o'clock slot on 5 was winning. Because the Simpsons ended up getting it. New York Undercover was getting it. I think like Living Single was getting it. Like that Sunday slot on Fox was winning. Whoever was in that Sunday slot, that 8 to like 10 slot before the news, was winning. Like, nah, for real. That's like when I look at marketing, I always talk about stuff like that. Like when Nicki Minaj came out, everybody like, oh, she dope. No, she's the only female rapper right now. Like, I don't know if she's dope. Right, but there's nobody here right now. So her marketing team made her look awesome. Shout out to them for that, man.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're doing a joint with Malik Yoba, and y'all did what?
We did a few things. Actually, the first feature film I was hired to do. Not
Nice.
the first one I did, but the first one I was hired.
First
to
one that
do
brought that residual
is
income.
where we met. Yeah,
No
where we
doubt.
met. And, you know, I also started a program called the Independent Film New York.
Dope.
And then from there, we created something called Monologue Slam. Then I spoke to Malik and I asked him if he would like to be the host of it. So we did we changed the name to the Working Actor Monologue Slam with Malik Yoba. We did it down at LIU, and we had some heavy hitters come down as judges. We had Michael K. Williams, S.E. Patha Murkison. We had
Shout out to Omar from The Wire, Michael K. Williams, man.
Joe Morton.
He changed the game.
Yeah, my man Benga Kenebe was there. Like we had some, and then we got some of the people who were leading the game.
Why that name sound familiar? Banger.
Benga was in The Wire, but he's
Chris
also,
Partlow.
I'm not
With the afros? Yeah, Chris Partlow. He had 1,000 bodies in The Wire.
Gotcha. It's funny because I never watched The Wire. But
What?
Yeah, I never watched The Wire.
Yo!
Never. I saw snippets of it.
Peace out to Weebay.
Shout out to Hassan, baby. Shout out to Hassan Johnson.
Like
My
if
God,
I went to someone's
Weebay.
house and they was watching it, I sat down and saw it, but I
You know what was dope about The Wire? I give a spinoff on that. Because The Corner came before The Wire.
Yes.
The Corner was about the addict, though. And it was heart-wrenching to see the families and the drugs and what it was doing to the family. So it was too much for the TV. It was too much for the TV. So what happened was they then brought The Wire, which brought it to the perspective of the dealer. You know what I mean? And the workings of the organization and how the politicians and all that got in. So that was real ingenious, man. And it's crazy because they took that off because they didn't want it to surpass The Sopranos as the most watched original
That's
series.
interesting. I never thought about that.
Right, Pat?
I never thought that's why they took it off.
and
But
then,
I do know that Malik Sealy's family received death threats when he was about to pass Chris Mullin.
oh, that's crazy.
That's a Wire Soprano story.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that one.
Wow. Yeah. Shout out to Malik Sealy, man.
Rest in peace, Malik.
Rest in peace, Malik Sealy. He threw dope parties.
Give us a sneak peek into what to expect from your upcoming novel, Brooklyn Brag.
Oh, yo, so during the pandemic, I released a novel. I started writing a TV pilot, and then I switched gears to a novel.
My dude is a beast, man.
Yeah, so
For real.
I wrote this novel, Brooklyn Bred, and it gained a lot of heat. I'll even say this today. This is breaking news. Today, the New York State Education Department, My Brother's Keeper organization, that's the organization that Barack Obama founded, they bought 150 copies for their organization.
That's dope, yo. That's what's up, baby.
Thank you. And
No
I'm going to
doubt.
tell you why that's important to me, because last year at this time, I was not an author. And not only that, last year this time, I did not have a publishing company. To have written a novel and started a publishing company, sold 500 copies of a special limited edition during the pandemic, then dropped the paperback, and have the New York State Department of Education and the My Brother's Keeper organization find that my book is worthy to purchase for their entire chapter in New York.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's huge.
That's very humbling.
Salute.
That's very humbling.
Salute
Appreciate
you. That's
brother.
dope, man. Not for real, man.
This is the special limited edition. Which camera we in? We right here.
Yeah.
Right? Special limited edition.
Nah, that's
this
dope.
Is landscape, you know.
That's hardcover, too.
And hardcover landscape. It comes with a certificate of authenticity.
Whoa.
Just like if you was buying a high-end watch or bag. You know, we have some full color photos. We have the gold leaf trimming. We have the other photo on the back, and I'm gonna tell you the interesting thing about this. This cover, the back cover, is the paperback cover. So this is the special limited edition. It says it right here. And then we have the paperback. This is the paperback. And
that's
it's one
ill.
continuous photo. It's the same photo.
That's on the back of the
that's on the
hardcover.
back. Right?
Nah, that's
So
dope.
we
Shout out to your publicist for that.
Thank you. That's all me.
My man. Everything in-house. We ain't paying nobody, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
For real,
My man,
we on our R.
picture.
Kelly shit. Like, for real, like, we doing everything. We
ain't on R.
producing.
Kelly shit.
No, I'm talking about reference to that marketing.
I understand what you're saying. I just gotta say that because of the world we live in right now.
Absolutely, definitely not on no robbing shit.
But yeah, man, I got my man to come and take the photography, the pictures. My nephew did the illustration. You know what I'm saying? This was all in house.
In house, nah, that's dope, man. For
Yeah.
real, that's big, man.
Yeah, so that we dropped that, and you know, it's created a huge buzz. And
That's
I'm
dope.
happy for it.
Yeah, why should someone who does not live in Brooklyn or may not identify with the 90s Brooklyn culture buy it?
Well, interestingly enough, one of the reasons I made this book is for it to be a nostalgic piece for people who was in that era.
Okay.
You know, that's why, you know, when you look at the cover, you know, I'm sitting on a stoop. The stoop was an important place when we grew up.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? The stoop was important. I got on my Brooklyn black velour tracksuit. We didn't have Brooklyn Nets back then, so I got a blue Yankees hat and I got my Timbs on, and I'm sitting on a stoop, right? This is real Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So
That's
why,
you had on the uni.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had on the Brooklyn uni.
Black hoodie. You know, so the funny thing is,
Good side block too.
oh yeah,
Good side block, for
see,
real.
I wrote about that in the book.
Yeah, side block is
Because
real.
You had the Ave cats, you had the projects cats,
And you had the side-
building cats, and you had the side block cats.
For sure.
And funny enough, side blocks cats sometimes have to prove themselves.
Yeah, they definitely had to shake a little bit.
Yeah, so sometimes we went a little harder.
Like
you
son,
know?
like you got a upstairs and downstairs. Like,
Yeah, you got a
give me
backyard, dude.
give me
Get out
5
of
in the
here,
street,
dude.
man. I need 5 minutes, man.
But yeah, man. So the interesting thing is, it needed to be nostalgic to people who lived that era, who can relate to it. But why someone who doesn't know that era should be interested in it? Because the '90s, like the late '80s to the mid to late '90s,
The culture
the
was shifting.
culture to me was one of the best eras in American history
Dope.
for arts and culture. Arts and culture. We're talking about movies. We're talking about fashion. We're talking about hairstyles. We're talking about jewelry, the way we wore our chains, the way we wore our shoe, the way
Well, not
our
everybody.
cars.
Everybody ain't with them chains.
Well,
like that.
everybody didn't.
Nah, some
you
people
know,
some people was
everybody
tucking. I never had a gold chain. I ain't even gonna lie.
But like even the way we got our haircuts.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It was a
the way
trend-setting
we
movement.
fixed our cars, the gooseneck equalizer, the BBS rims, the spoilers, the rag top. Like, we
dressing them
changed
joints
the
up.
game. We
Yeah.
changed. Then if you was blessed enough to either go to an Empire on a Tuesday or a Sunday,
Yeah. And it wasn't
or
for everybody.
on the weekend, 125th
Yeah.
Street or Polo Ground,
Yeah.
you got to see a certain level of the culture on exhibit.
Skate Key.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout
On
out to them,
exhibit.
right.
And that when we consider our music, hip hop or hip hop R&B,
Like them scenes like in Paid in Full when it was like this like allegedly like in front of the Willie Burger with the Rich Porter and all them, like that era, the Dapper Dawn era.
Absolutely.
Like Carl Kana.
Absolutely, but even like when you go to the sports, when you go to sports, when you talk about the
90s, yeah.
the three mics, anyone, Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, like
Yeah, there you go.
like that era was it was magnetic.
Salt, Pepper, them changed the
Everybody
game.
wants a piece of that era.
Salt, Pepper, them
You know
had the
what's
dope
funny?
cuts.
I'm surprised with nobody saying about Salt and Pepper
Salt
in
and
the
Pep-
verses. And
Salt
I
and
don't
Pepper
want them
was-
going up against a girl group.
Nah, they go with some dudes. Yeah, they was nice. Salt and Pepper was
Salt and
tough.
Pepper, come on, bro. So when I put this book out, I knew a '90s Brooklyn story was attractive.
I'm trying to think, what was a rival girl group?
None.
They couldn't go against
None.
nobody.
There was no girl group. None.
Salt and Pepper was smashing. Yeah, they was smashing
Let's
shit.
stop that. They
But
were
they had-
in the category with Run DMC, EPMD.
They had
Salt and
dudes.
Pepper.
They had
They
dudes
was
buying
in-
8-ball
yeah,
jackets.
They was in that
Word.
category.
They had dudes buying 8-ball jackets and
Yes.
all that. Nah,
Put
for
them up
real.
in they versus Swiss.
And I'm gonna come clean. I had that poster. Word them up. I did.
Where can our viewers buy the book and how much does it cost?
So the book, I started my publishing company, so I started my website. It's called At the Top Publishing. It's spelled just like that. No tricks, no hyphens, no underscores, nothing. AtTheTopPublishing.com. And on the website, we're selling the special limited edition book. We have about 10 left of the 500. And we're selling those as well as the paperback. Now, the special limited edition, they come individually numbered. They come with the certificate of authenticity.
Dope.
They're hardcover. They're gold leaf book. Gold trim, for you don't know what I'm talking about with the leaf. Gold trim. And, these are $100. They're individually numbered. And as you can see here. And that's that. The paperback is here. These are $15. And you can buy either one, hopefully you'll cop, and either way is a benefit to me. But not only is it a benefit to me, one of the reasons why I did this on my own, and one of the reasons why I created the special limited edition, because I spoke to some of my people who are authors, and I asked them about financing, like what can I get if I go with a publishing company. The numbers they told me was dismal. They were real skinny. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I can figure out a way to make that myself. Yeah. And I'm a first-time novelist, too.
Christopher Walken, baby.
Yeah,
like,
so
you know
I
what I mean?
Anything you can't
just
do,
sold
man.
on the block. I want in.
And it's funny, because the thing is, they telling me, like, they may give you this amount, and they may give you, I'm like, nah,
they may.
Man.
After all this work?
Yes. So
buddy.
we smashed that in the first week of sales. We smashed that.
Nice.
You know what I'm
Salute.
saying? And that's not saying I'll never go with the publisher.
But what it is,
I got my advance.
Right.
So now you know what? Here, take it. Y'all do what y'all do with it.
Yeah.
Cut the check. But now I got my advance.
Nah, that's dope, though.
I'm out here moving it. So I want folks to understand that business is about products. As long as you have a product to sell, you can be in business.
Indeed.
If you don't have a product to sell, you're not in business.
There you go.
I'm a filmmaker. Movies is my products. If I make a movie, I can sell something.
Right.
Now I'm an author. I got a product to sell.
Indeed. That's
what I'm
dope.
saying? So
but it's
that's
also too. Again, we speak about here on A Bridge Podcast. We talk about having multiple streams, being able to market yourself, pay yourself first. So that's dope, man. You understand this great knowledge our people are getting? Please go on abridgepodcast.com. Become a patron and get this knowledge, man. For real, man. But it's dope, man. I just want to thank you. I just want to say, I'm glad you're here. Not even thank you. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you sharing the love and everything, and how like in bridging the gap, here on A Bridge, you want to know in bridging the gap. What does bridging the gap mean to you?
Wow, bridging the gap, man. That has several meanings. So some of the stuff that I do, I specifically say that I bridge the gap for people in the film industry on several different levels. I created an organization, like I said earlier, called Independent Film New York. I created an event called the Monologue Slam.
Dope.
I also created the Brooklyn Film Arts and Media Conference. One of the reasons why I do that, and at my events, I don't sequester the celebrities. The celebrities are out there with everybody. So if you're a filmmaker and you want to speak to somebody you just saw on Netflix, you can speak to them. I don't keep them in a room and give them the good food and give everybody else water.
Right. No doubt.
Many of these events, many of these film festivals and stuff, they keep them apart. They'll have a party for everybody, then they'll have a party for these people. I don't do those things. So I bridge the gap in that way. I literally can make
everybody accessible.
Absolutely, and that's my form of bridging the gap. What it means, and it's funny because I started a company. It didn't go anywhere. I might bring it back because I still hold the name, called Universal Bridge. I started a company called Universal Bridge, right? So bridging the gap means recognizing that somebody is in the position that you were in when you needed help. And that's not to say you don't need help now.
Right.
That's to say somebody is in the position you were in when you first started. Be the person that you needed when you first started to someone
be that
else.
person now to help them.
Be that person to someone else.
Right, absolutely. Be the conduit.
Because we a lot of people say, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm a self-made. Ain't nobody in this world self-made. Nobody. Don't believe the bullshit.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody.
You heard it here on A Bridge. Don't believe the bullshit.
Is self-made.
Nobody is self-made. Now that's real.
Somebody had somebody to help them get where they are. And they may not be recognizing it because they're so engrossed in who they are. We're looking at people now like a Donald Trump. He don't realize that the people around him was propping him up for this bullshit.
Yeah.
But in his mind, it's all about him because he has them narcissistic,
It's self-centered, narcissistic shit, yeah.
But don't believe it. And if you out there thinking I made it so someone else can make it, I don't make it, I don't have to give back. I hope you hear this and I hope you check yourself, because sometimes, man, it don't cost much for you to give a word to someone.
Nah, no doubt.
Say, you know what, I can't take that job, and instead of walking away from it and say I can't take it, but maybe my man Nard can take that job.
Nah, that's what's
and
up.
You don't know, you could be changing his life.
Indeed.
You know? So that's what it means to bridge the gap to me.
Nah, I salute you, man, for real. Yo, man, listen. He got me all worked up here, man. I need you to let my viewers know how they can find you, man, where they can find you at, man. And remember, somebody out there, be the bridge for somebody else, man.
Absolutely.
For real.
For me, well, I'm trying to get better at social media. I'm really working at it. I'm not a fan of a lot of it, but you can find me anywhere. My name is Attika J. Torrence, Attika, middle initial J, last name Torrence. I'm Attika J. Torrence on Facebook. I'm Attika J. Torrence on Instagram. My website is attikajtorrence.com. I made it simple.
Nah, definitely.
You know my name, you can find me. I ain't running from nobody. I don't owe nobody money.
You already know.
No children I don't know about.
Yeah, that's my man. For real, man. Any last words, though? Like, you just killed him right there. He know all his kids. You heard? No secrets. No secret Santa this year, baby. You heard?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank A Bridge. I want to thank you, Nard. I want to thank Pat. You know, I want to thank the technical team for
King
for
Roach
doing
in the
this
building.
together. You know what I'm saying? And
Appreciate you coming, brother.
yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Nah,
It's
man.
my
It means a lot, man. Just like in being informed and enlightening what you're doing and all you've done and everything, you took time out. Because even though this is going on in the world, man, like, we know you still working. So you took time out from that to be here at A Bridge, man. So we definitely appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
For real, man.
I work for me, so I kill what I eat. If I don't kill, I don't eat.
There you go. That's my man. But I want to thank you for coming, brother.
Yeah.
For real, man. It was a pleasure, man. A Bridge is glad to have you. Everybody, please sign on, subscribe, man. Become a patron at abridgepodcast.com. You know, and let's do it, man. Another great episode here at the Bridge. You heard?
Sir.
We out.
Brooklyn Nets coming for that throat.
Yeah.